Well, hello and welcome to this episode of the Monday Minute. My name is Ken Freeman, and my question for you today is this. Is your center operating in the natural or the supernatural? Is your center blessed or is it not? Is your center recession-proof or is it suffering from this recession? Every nonprofit has the responsibility to serve its stated and very specific purposes. Some nonprofits seem to be lucky. They are well managed, well organized, and well funded. Others are not so lucky. They are always putting out fire drills, always running out of time, short on volunteers, and short on funds. The new economic crisis has everyone talking about funding. Financial planners always talk about the need to budget your expenses, plan for that rainy day. They talk about growth funds, long-term planning, annuities. Boards of directors expect you to do all you can to raise the funds, host the events, and promote the events, and then they, of course, show up and make a donation at that event. But here's the rest of the story. We are living in perilous times. In just 2 weeks, this nation will either wake up to higher taxes, the threat of the Freedom of Choice Act, codifying Roe v. Wade forever, closing of possibly all abstinence program grants to nonprofits, and a possibility that centers like yours and mine could lose our nonprofit status if the IRS gets instructed to shut down what they may call non-working fake bogus clinics. Now is the time to get your center operating not in the energy of the flesh. Now is the time to rely on the supernatural to sustain you through this storm. As the story goes, many centers report donations, gifts in kinds, even offices and homes being donated for the cause. Yet many other centers plan around multiple fundraisers, and those raise their annual budget or a major portion of it. Now, what is the difference between these agencies? Both raise funds, both are run as a Christian mission. Both have a Christian board of directors, an executive director, the staff, the volunteers. But here's the difference. One center is operating out of the energy of the flesh. They are striving to succeed. Success depends on how many tickets can be sold, how many partners you have, how many volunteers you have, how many churches support you. The other depends on the leading of the Holy Spirit of God, Elohim, the Mighty One, the Saving One, and they use prayer to reach the provision of Jehovah Jireh, the provider. Both receive badly needed funds. One uses 100% of their funds to pay their bills, operate their center, buy their advertising, and more. Their funds never seem to overflow. They always run short. The other obeys the spiritual law of the tithe and blesses other ministries out of what they've been blessed with, and their funding seems to increase. Their volunteers seem to come out of nowhere and are the best volunteers of all. This law is supposed to be operating in every believer's life. I think we can agree about that. However, facts show us that 80% of those who call themselves Christians don't practice tithing. Show me an organization that gives, and I will show you an organization that is blessed beyond measure, that has the best volunteers, the best donors, and the best center health overall. I speak with center directors every week, and I hear their stresses, I hear their challenges. In these days of economic downturn and financial crisis, your center may begin to feel the pinch if you have not already seen a downturn in support. So what can you do to turn your center's economic future around? How can you recession-proof your center? Start today by giving a portion of what you get every month as a free will offering, a gift, a tithe to another needy ministry, and then watch the blessings begin to flow from heaven. In the free report today, I explain in great detail the biblical standard for the tithe. Many believe it only applies to the individual, but I can tell you that I have found that any business, any nonprofit or profit organization that obeys the tithe and gives for the right reasons will be blessed 100-fold, pressed down and shaken together and overflowing. I urge you to download today's report, read over it, and share it with your board and then with other center directors. And then pray where your gift should be going. In this report, I share my own experience with operating Last Harvest Ministries without fundraising or annual banquets since 1989. In this report, I share a small rural center's experience and what this tithe has meant to their center. In the report, I will also share how one metropolitan center began to give a gift each month when faced with some of the most distressing challenges, the loss of her lease and the loss of her volunteers. I had the privilege of praying with her and watching Jehovah Jireh move on her behalf. Within a couple of weeks, she had this new space, a bigger space, closer to the university, and the volunteers that left were replaced with even better, more committed ones. Get this free report right now. Just click to download it. It may dramatically change the future of your organization. Principle of the tithe works. This fundamental precept of the Christian faith should be expressed in every enterprise that we as Christians operate. Download the report right now. It's absolutely free, and learn how to place your center under the spout where the glory comes out. Now tell at least 3 other directors about this Monday Minute. Oh, and one other thing. You can right now make a big difference in your center's future by joining cpclink.com, the referral network. And as you join this network, you will be joining a network that will put your center in front of nearly 30,000 unique visitors a month. And these visitors may not visit the other searchable sites such as Option Line, Heartbeat International, or Rama International. Help us help those in need today. Join www.cpclink.com. Now until we meet again next week, remember this. Keep up the good work you're doing. You are making a difference, and the other side just can't stand it.